It's time to get ready. Time Factor's always on. Time Factor's always on. Somebody's got to say it. That's why LH Music, America's Love Festival, Christian Conservative. It's on the radio. This is the LH Music Time Factor radio show. Time Factor.
Well, hello and
Okay, during last hour, our Time Factor radio show continues. NBC
Phil Griffin,
Bill Griffin
has
has
responded
responded
to the GOP.
GOP.
Quote, the
Quote,
tweet,
the tweet
last night was outrageous and unacceptable. In case you don't remember what MSNBC tweeted, they tweeted a link to a new Cheerios ad with a biracial family, and they tweeted maybe the right wing will hate it, but everyone else will go,
can be civilized.
"Aw." The new adorable hashtag Cheerios ad with biracial families. He said, we immediately acknowledged that it was offensive and wrong. We apologized and we deleted it. We have dismissed the person responsible for the tweet. Notice he said dismissed and not fired.
Fired. Really?
Why would you say the word dismissed? Was that part of the agreement that they weren't fired? You know how sometimes people are allowed to retire, allowed to move on. They're searching for new opportunities. Is that why he used the word dismissed and not fired? Or is he just aware
of it?
I personally apologize to Mr. Priebus and everyone offended. At MSNBC, we believe in passionate, strong debate about the issues, and we invite voices from all ideas or on all sides to participate. And that will never change.
No, never change.
He said,
He said,
listen, they don't have an ideology at all at MSNBC. I'm not.
Forget it. MSNBC, you have no agenda.
Didn't you run?
Did you notice that you try to trash risk papers on purpose?
I watch your ad.
Everybody watched their ad.
It all in any of your ads. You might have an SE cup from time to time on the airwaves, but that's not who
that's
you are.
Who you are.
Let's not forget.
Fox
has Geraldo Rivera. Which, by the way, the Blaze will never
do it.
We are proud for small government, limited government. We are proud for conservative values. And that doesn't mean that we have all God people working there. It doesn't mean that we have all people who are straight. We have homosexuals. We have atheists. We have Christians. We have non-Christians. We have people from all walks of life. All agree on certain things. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. MSNBC, however, doesn't really have that policy, which kind of leads me to this story. NBC News and sister cable outlet MSNBC rank at the bottom of media outlets that Americans trust for news. This is really, truly amazing. This is the fifth trust poll. Now remember, if I said so in the first place, who does America not trust for news? What's the joke of the networks,
right?
I mean, right? What is news? Right?
Right.
UFO news.
Yeah. Who is the trust?
Yeah. Think of
this. Everybody knows that MSNBC tried to trash Sarah Palin on purpose. And the fifth try is this.
3% for NBC. 3%.
3%.
That high. I know. Brian Williams, how you feeling about
I don't know what you're talking about.
10% believe we didn't go
to the stream.
Wait a minute. What's the margin of error on that 3%? It's got to be at least 4%.
It's got to be.
Well, it's got to be,
It's got to be at least plus or minus 3%. It does. They're always plus or minus 3%. So NBC 3%. Coming in tied for most trusted source for news
in the news
is MSNBC and Comedy Central. At 9% is CBS. Now
think about this.
I don't trust
I
CBS.
don't trust CNN the liberal. And I don't trust MSNBC. And why? Because everybody has no agenda at all. For news.
60 Minutes, Walter Cronkite.
60 Minutes, Walter Cronkite, all that crap.
Ago, everyone agrees CBS News, was the gold standard. I shouldn't say everyone. You have to have at least,
so in the first place.
What would you say, honestly? 50% of the American people would trust when we were growing up CBS News? Easily. Okay, so now they're down to 9%. And that's the network that had Dan Rather and was so discredited. It just had the Benghazi story where everybody discredited CBS. They're three times more trusted than NBC.
NBC News.
So you have at 9% you have CBS. At 10% is CNN.
CNN the liberal.
At 11% is ABC
the liberal.
At 14% is PBS
the liberal.
And 35% say Fox.
Fox.
Wow.
Conservative. That's conservative.
Wow. That's a huge gap too. That's
stunning.
So NBC, the network NBC is nowhere on it. Are they lumped in with MSNBC?
No, NBC is 3.
No.
MSNBC is tied with Comedy Central at 6.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Wow.
So NBC is worse than MSNBC.
NBC is worse.
I mean,
NBC gets that I think gets that rap because they're the global warming station. They're the ones who are constantly doing propaganda. They're the ones constantly doing the Affordable Care Act propaganda. They have made their bed and they've sown all the seeds. We are in bed with this administration. They get all of the stuff because everybody knows NBC was owned by GE, and so they were constantly doing those Green Week things because their parent company was GE. I really think that NBC, they have destroyed NBC, and I don't think you'll ever get NBC back.
I know.
Glenn, if you add up all the other networks you said, would it get to 35?
Well, you have a calculator. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah,
14.
It surpasses. I mean, barely.
Barely, though.
Yeah. You can almost add all the rest. And so Fox is more trustworthy than just about all of them
that's
combined.
Right, more trustworthy.
You could certainly take MSNBC and NBC and CBS, combine them.
Okay.
Stop that right now.
So what you have to know is
you don't
the people who lean right are all saying, or not all, but a lot of people who lean right are saying Fox. Everybody else is divided. They don't trust anybody. So when you look at let me see here, the most trusted news team. The poll asked which team is the most trusted news team. The least trusted was Fox. Because so many Democrats don't like it. I haven't looked at this. Stu, you've got to break this whole thing down. I'll send you a copy of the actual raw numbers or a link to the copy. I don't even know if I have the link to the raw numbers. This came from the Washington Examiner. But if you look at the raw numbers, I'd like to understand that one. But least trusted. No, that's got to be. No, this doesn't make sense the way this is written. The poll also asked which news team was least trusted. Yeah, and Fox won that too, because many Democrats don't like it.
Yeah,
so how could they be the?
Well, I think that what that means is you have one source that has any conservative opinion on it, and that's what it means. So all Democrats hate it and all Republicans like it, but it does show that it shows what we've talked about forever, that there really is. I mean, this is why the Blaze is needed so much. There's only one thing that conservatives can even come close to liking. They hate everything else because everything else offends their values constantly.
And quite honestly, another reason why it is needed is because there is nothing that the other side of the story. They don't trust them. There's nothing that pops through here.
My mind.
ABC News with 11%. That shows that while all the conservatives are like, I don't trust any of those, but I do trust this one. The other side has nothing that they agree on. It's not. It should be 35%, Fox and 35% CNN.
CNN, the liberal.
It should be something like that, but it's not.
It's not.
And so, because the other side has nothing. And why is the other side have nothing? The other side is going for MSNBC, which is, you know, remember how MSNBC made fun of me all the time and just said that I was a clown show and everything else?
I would look like a clown.
And did you see, Pat, I sent you a deal of Teray doing a Karnak bit? Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
This is some of the worst television. Forget about their
Forget
opinion.
about
It's
this
some
one.
of the worst television I've ever seen.
I know we marvel at that a lot.
I mean, and all they're trying to do what I
is
did,
this.
and they can't
They
do
can't
that.
even know it.
They're horrible.
They're horrible.
It's just, I mean, it's
I
embarrassing.
mean, it doesn't even make sense.
It really is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing to me,
if you
and
got a
give me
bunch
one
of
good
eighth
reason
graders
why.
together and said, let's do a funny news
poll
broadcast.
number.
That's really
That's
what
really
it is.
what it is.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing to me, and I don't like it. It gives me a headache.
Where he's doing Karnak.
You know what? Tori's just...
And they're all
laughing, and
it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing to me. None of this crap doesn't even make sense. When you're on
like 90%
of it. I don't.
Just like this isn't working.
This isn't working at all.
And you have that feeling. You're like, okay, can we stop this? Because this is embarrassing. That's what that felt like, and it feels like that all the time. So not only are their politics not trusted, they are destroying the image of NBC.
That's right.
It's destroyed. As the poll shows, there's no destroying left to do.
No, they still have that margin.
Well, they still have that margin about this one.
It might be 0, but it might be 3.
Yeah.
It
might be 3. It might be 3. Now wait a minute. Could it not be also 6?
Not good at all.
It could be 6. So which would tie them with Comedy Central.
Although they'd have the margin of error too, so they'd still probably win.
Yeah, because that could be 9 for Comedy Central, or 9. But so ananyway, the NBC is now apologizing for this.
For this mess.
But the GOP is saying, sadly, such petty and demeaning attacks have become a pattern at your network. With increasing frequency, many of your hosts have personally denigrated and demeaned Americans, especially conservative and Republican Americans, even with attempting to further meaningful political dialogue. While I personally enjoy appearing on decent shows like Morning Joe?
Morning Joe.
And the Daily Rundown, the entire network is poisoned because of this pattern of behavior. Until you personally and publicly apologize for this behavior, I have banned all staff from appearing or associating and booking any RNC surrogates on MSNBC. I've asked Republican surrogates and officials to follow our lead. I'm telling you, there is...
I'll tell you one thing is, because MSNBC has no shame at all.
The progressives...
The progressives know that everybody watches MSNBC.
Damage you could do.
All these damages can do something very stupid. And everything else can be civilized.
And saying, look at our ratings.
Look at our ratings.
Look at our ratings.
Look at ratings.
Look at CNN.
Look at CNN.
Their ratings are. I would much rather be a trusted news source than a joke with higher ratings.
The high ratings.
I mean, because there's
no future
in just going for the ratings.
Going to ratings. Absolutely no clue at all.
That thing burns out eventually. You run out of your beloved ethanol. And eventually, there's nothing you can do
to run
and it is completely over. CNN, I can tell you one thing is CNN is in a much better position than MSNBC. When I watch these two things, and I know I'm considered, I'm sure, a joke in the TV world of not knowing anything what I'm talking about, and a lot of people, even in my own company, disagree with me on this. They all say CNN is over. I'm telling you, CNN has the best chance of survival of any of the networks. I just don't get it. That MSNBC is in a better position. It's not. CNN is in a better position, even though Larry King is out saying CNN should just run cartoons.